Have you ever wondered how you can start your own business over the age of 40 when you're still working that 9 till 5 grind? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how my day looks. And for those of you who haven't seen any of my previous videos, I've decided to build my own SaaS platform from scratch with pretty much no coding experience whatsoever. I've got no huge amount of capital to invest. I've got no backing from anyone else. I'm purely doing this on my own in my own spare time. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, how's he doing this? I don't have time to do this when I get back from work. I have to sort the kids out. I have to, do the kids' clubs. I have to do dinner. I have to do washing, all that sort of stuff. And I get it. Okay, it is very hard. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. I'm not going to be one of these YouTube gurus and say, yeah, you can make 20K in 2 months by working an hour a day. It doesn't work like that. If you're over the age of 40 and you're watching this, you know life does not work like that. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very honest look into what my day looks like and what I'm achieving so far. So before we get started, if you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to do this video in a more raw style like I did in the last one, so there'll be less edits and more waffle, but it's a lot more honest and a lot less scripted. So if you haven't seen the last video yet, it's basically me talking about the 5 skills that I've learned so far whilst doing this journey. You can see it there or there, whichever side it appears. Go and check it out. It's a great video. Maybe actually I'll do that at the end. Don't click on it now because otherwise you're going to leave this video. I'll put the link right at the very end, and then you can click on it. Then you can tell I'm still quite new to this. Anyway, so let's crack on. So, how does my day start? Well, I'm up at about 6 a.m. in the morning, in between 6, 10 past, depends on how many times I hit the snooze button. I get up, have a quick wash, and I'm straight out the door. Okay, so within 10, 15 minutes, I'm out of bed and I'm in the car to start my commute. Okay, because I start work at 7:30 in the morning. That's I could start at 8:30, but I choose to start at 7:30 because my commute is much worse at 8:30 in the morning. So I decide to get there early and then leave early. It just makes the whole thing a lot more bearable. So on the way to work, I commute about an hour each way. Sometimes it's an hour and 10, hour and 20 on the way back, which is quite painful. And I know it's very painful. I've been doing it for the best part of 15 years. This is the main reason that I want to leave my 9 till 5 job. Like I said to you previously, I don't mind my job. I'm quite lucky. I actually have a nice job, but it's the commute that is the absolute killer. So what I decided to do in the last year is flip my commute into something positive. Now, when I say that, I've decided instead of just listening to the radio or just listening to a load of music, I basically listen to podcasts. I listen to YouTube podcasts. I might listen to other inspirational channels like Stephen Thompson's one that I like. Who is another one I like? I can't remember the names now, but I listen to channels like that. Basically, so I'm learning. I want to use that hour to be able to learn because I can't produce anything in that hour because I'm driving. So the best thing I can think of is to sit there and just listen and just try and absorb as much as I possibly can during that time. So yeah, anyway, so I arrive at work at 7:30. Obviously, I'm then working in my day job till 12:30 where I have lunch. Now, this is a point that I will say to people that I preach all the time is that if you can use your hour lunch break to work on your business. Okay, that's exactly what I do. I use that. I get half an hour lunch break. So whilst I'm eating, I'm at the computer and I'm either building or an X or preparing YouTube content. It's when you're this age and you have a family, time is so limited that you have to make use of every spare hour or half an hour that you can. So I highly recommend if you're planning on doing your own business, use your lunch break, okay? Because honestly, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done in that lunch break. So you don't have to do it every day, whether it's just 3 or 4 times a week and have a couple of days, go for a walk, clear your head. That often helps. I do that occasionally, but predominantly I'm trying to get as much time, building my SaaS or doing YouTube content as I can. So I then work till 4 o'clock, in which case I then start my commute back. And same thing as going to work, podcasts on, and just absorbing more and more content, learning new things. This will be either on building tips for building my platform, or listening to YouTube gurus on how to grow their YouTube channels, and lots of different stuff. I mean, investment advice. I mean, I listen to a lot of crypto channels as well, because just to try and get an idea of where the market's going. Like I say, the whole time I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to learning. I'm just trying to educate myself as much as possible, and YouTube is brilliant for this. If you're watching this now, it's just essential trying to know, trying to absorb as much information from people as possible. And that's why one of the reasons I'm doing this, to help you guys out the gates, so you're not wasting months and months and months like I have previously on figuring stuff out, because there's nothing worse than wasting time, especially time that you don't have. So anyway, doing that, I'm back home by about 5:15. Quite often go for a run, quick run, back in, and then obviously then I've got family time, so we'd have dinner, spend a bit of time with my son. If it's playing a bit of football in the garden, or we're doing some spellings or something like that. Have the dinner, wash up, then I'm head down and I'm working, because at that point my son has a shower, and then we give him his iPad time, so that way he can play Roblox or whatever he's doing. I think he plays Roblox with his friends. So I'm using that 2 hours to really focus on my SaaS or YouTube. So, and at the moment, I have to say the YouTube is taking more of my time up. So what I'm going to have to try and find a balance on how I sort of change that around a bit, because my SaaS is starting to fall behind and I need to catch up on the stuff. What I don't want to do is turn into just this YouTube guy that has nothing to show for it, because that completely sort of goes against what I'm doing. I like to call this time my power hour, or my power time. It's the time that I can get my most momentum and I'm the most creative. So if you can, get that hour in, or 2 hours in the evening, it'll make all the difference. If you think about that, every single week you're getting in an extra 5 to 10 hours every evening, and that can make a huge amount of difference, over a couple of months. But at the moment, like I say, that time is really being spent on YouTube and building my SaaS, but the YouTube is really taking a lot of that, a portion of that time. And to be honest, I didn't realize it would actually take this amount of time to do the YouTube, but it is. I love doing it. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping that my subscribers are getting some value from it, and so I'll continue to do it. I've just got to work it out how I can sort of balance it a bit more. That's all. But again, that will come with time. Just me figuring out all of this shit as I'm going along. So I try to work till about 9 p.m. Sometimes slightly later, sometimes slightly earlier. But and that can seem late, and I know I get that. But this is for the greater good. I'm doing it now, so I don't have to do it later on. I'm sacrificing, hopefully, 6 to 12 months of my life by doing this every single evening. So hopefully be able to leave that 9 to 5 job and be able to do this and spend most of this time doing the YouTube stuff, doing my SaaS during the day, and then have the evenings free to spend, all the time in the world with my family. That's the dream, that's the goal, and that's what I will achieve. Okay, I absolutely will achieve it. So that's pretty much it. I did this video didn't need to be long. I just wanted to show you guys that it's perfectly possible. It really is. In the last 3 months, I have built a SaaS platform which is almost ready to launch. There's a few little bits I've got to do to it. I've launched my own YouTube channel, an account, TikTok. That's all within probably just under 3 months. Okay, yes, I'm not generating any money from it yet, and again, these things take time. I know it's not a quick thing, so I'm in it for the long haul. It's not a sprint. This is a marathon. So guys, if I can say anything to you, just start now. Okay, just give it a go. It can be done. You've seen me. You're watching me doing it in real time. And like I say, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm hopeful that you guys can learn a lot from all my mistakes, and you can be able to witness me doing it live. So that way, it will give you more hope and incentive to go and do it yourself. So anyway, drop us a comment. Let us know what you're doing. I'd love to hear what you're doing. And yeah, I'll take care, and I shall see you in the next video.